Why don't you do second? We have 90 days from the time that we got it. They may.
We've been trying to get with our HOA. They do everything electronically, so we're trying to get electricity for our HOA. They keep telling me.
Congratulations. Doesn't know what to do.
They do a good job. We've talked about my dreams, you know. You got your first car. Get a big back up. And, you know, it's 2 trees. They're probably going to be 5 or 6, right?
No, I do. See, that's the beauty of it. They think I'm there and I'm not.
All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. We have 6 p.m. and as custom for our council meetings, we ask that everyone please rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome in, everyone. I'm going to have Ms. Woodward call roll, please.
Susan Bartow.
Here.
Jenny Benner. Here. Becky Ricketts. Here. Marty Southbottom.
Here.
Becky Stanley.
Here.
Amy Stuber.
Here.
Jim Yates.
Here.
John Singler.
Here.
Everybody here okay?
Yes.
Very good. All right, first order of business this evening, we're going to do the October 27th council meeting minutes. They've been distributed. Are there any additions or corrections from the council? If not, we'll take a motion.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of the previous session.
I second.
Mr. Yates first and a second from Ms. Stanley. Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, those minutes have passed. Thank you. All right, last Monday, November 17th, was your caucus meeting. Those have been distributed with some changes just today. Same thing here.
I make a motion to table the minutes of November 17th, 2025.
Second.
There's a motion to table in a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, those minutes are tabled. All right. All right, we're going to move on then. We have our treasurer's report. At this time, I'd ask Ms. Kaiser, our city treasurer, to give that report.
Our beginning balance of $3,616,901.28 with receipts of $720,675.27 and disbursements of $632,633.13 an ending balance of $3,704,943.42.
Are there any questions from the council? Hearing none, thank you, Ms. Kaiser. Moving on, Chief Schroeder, sir, we have police report for October 2025.
Good evening.
Chief.
So for October of 2025, in the city of Linden, we had a total of, bear with me, my computer's rebooting. We had a total of 95 activities and 177 in all areas. Keep in mind, as we discussed before, the way the Kentucky Op system holds that data, some of the areas that are actually within Linden are counted outside of Linden for some reason. Total for year-to-date, that's 1,109 activities within Linden, 2,448 all told. There are some excerpts I've put in there. I'll be glad to answer questions about any of those if you'd like, but the main thing I'd like to talk about is we're seeing another spree of car break-ins. This particular group is breaking windows. They are known to us to be armed, so as always, if anybody sees anything, call us. Don't confront them yourselves. If you see something, say something so we can check it out and help stop these people. We are working with Metro, Middletown, St. Matthews, et cetera, in a group trying to get rid of this. And Metro just approached us today about doing a larger group to try and catch these folks, but they are hitting everywhere in this county right now, so we need to get them stopped. So, and that's what I have.
Any further questions for Chief Schroeder?
I do kind of a comment. Chief, we received the variance report last week, and just doing the basic math numbers on the total right now for the public safety total, it's trending that it's gonna, if it stays the same as it does right now, it would be about 268,000 over budget.
Okay, we'll
So
take a look at that. Yep.
Okay, I just want to, for the record, point that out so that that can be looked at on your end, so that
Okay,
we can stay in budget.
we'll absolutely take a look at it. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. We're going to move on. We have some unfinished old business. This was tabled from last month. Is Municipal Order 112425A, which concerns a grant from Bowen Elementary in the amount of $9,670. Was there a representative from Bowen here this evening?
Yes, sir.
Please come up if you don't mind, and let's go over the proposal. First of all, I guess introduce yourself to us and let us know what you're doing, and then we can have council ask questions.
Yes, sir. My name is Ryan Rodowski, proud principal at Bowen Elementary. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about our grant, and I'm joined tonight by our amazing librarian, Laura Greer, and happy to answer any questions you might have. The purpose of this grant is really to enhance our school. We know that we're a very important part of Linden. We want to make sure that we're attracting families and having the most vibrant learning experiences ever. If you've been to an elementary school lately, you will know that the library is the heartbeat of it. Everybody goes there. Staff meetings are held there. Kids are in and out all the time. Classes are being taught there, book fairs, and so forth. In fact, over the past 30 days, we've had over 500 guests to that school, to just our library itself. The school was built in 1969. I think about 1972 was the last time some updates were done. I had the opportunity to join Bowen last school year as my first year as principal there, and we got things rolling with really enhancing the looks of the school. So we've done some work outside. You all blessed us with a grant last year that we were able to do our lobby, and I believe, hopefully you've got a presentation that I shared in your files there. If not, I've got some hard copies here, but that can give you an idea of some work that we've done there. In 2010, the addition of the library was done, and we have an amazing librarian who brings people in all the time, but it's very dated and it's very bland. We really think with your help, you might have heard that JCPS has got a little bit of a money issue, so I don't think that money's coming from JCPS right now. But with your help, hopefully we could do this and make that area even better.
Can you explain, sorry, always do that. Can you explain once again what it is? It's a wrap, correct?
Yes, and I'll have Ms. Greer give you some details, please.
I'll talk about that. Yes, it's a wrapping. It's made of a polyflex material. It's like wallpaper but thicker, and it's attached with a paste. To the desk, it's called tack, and it has a glue backing, and it's applied with a squeegee. So we have it in our office, and if you receive the slideshow, it shows the wrapping in the office, and then it shows it on the library desk, or lobby desk, not library desk.
Is that a permanent, you can peel it off once it's outdated, or?
You can peel it off, yes.
When do you plan on carrying it off? How long will it be up?
No, I mean, the plan would be for it to be there for many years. You know, we had that 2010 edition, which is a beautiful library. If you've been in it, if you haven't, I welcome you to come visit. Love to have you. It's high ceilings, lots of glass, but there are these huge walls that nothing is on. I've put posters on, but we just need something to make it inviting and welcoming and warm, and, you know, to shout, we're a library and we love reading, and, you know, just something the kids would be amazed at, because I can just picture their faces already if this happened. So that's what we're looking for, something to just create that positive, welcoming, warm, inviting library atmosphere on top of, you know, just what we do as readers already in there. I would like it to be visual too.
Question for you. Is there a way to do this in stages?
Yes, we could do it in stages. We could do like one wall, and maybe the desk, because to me those would be the two prime things, and then there's a side wall, and then there's a wall that's huge and tall above the office, above the circulation desk. So if you wanted to break it down that way, we could do that.
Because I believe what we have left in capital, or for grants, is $8,500.
Okay.
So.
Yes. I mean, I'd be thrilled to work with you know, that too. Absolutely.
Thank you.
With I mean, I'm just gonna say, with so much need out there, cosmetics is not top of mind for me right now, but what might you be able to do with like half that, if we could?
I could do the main wall with half of that when you walk in. And I understand what you're saying cosmetically. I think, and I get that, but in an elementary, it's like the library is like the spirit of the school. So it's a feeling too. So I don't want us to miss that completely either, because it really, like, the kids will look, even at my posters, which are fairly lame, but they'll be like, I want that book.
One of them's a read.
Oh yeah, he has a read poster up there, not yours, totally not yours. But they'll look at the read posters of our administration, they'll be like, I want the book that Dr. Radowski has. And so my goal with the wrapping is to have their favorite book characters up there, and, you know, books represented, and like to just combine this so that they're also looking at it as it really does inspire their reading. My bulletin boards do that. I just feel like this would do it so much more. Yeah.
And I will say, like, we're also blessed to have an amazing PTA, right? So anything that you're able to do or willing to do, we will take it and run with it and make the best use of it. And if we've got to piece things together by working with our PTA, we'll do that. We totally get it. And your point makes a lot of sense. And so if we're willing to get a portion, then awesome. That gets the ball rolling for us. We get going on that work. And then, you know, I'm not against fundraising, right? We will make things happen.
So what's next year?
Is that?
I was gonna say, I'd be open to looking at granting them half of what we have left. So if we have $8,500, $4,250.
Yeah, I agree.
A motion to amend the order
Yes.
for,
I'd like to make a motion to amend the municipal order 1124-25, the grant from Bowen Elementary, to make that total $4,250.
Second.
second from Ms. Ricketts. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. We got you started off $4,250, and I guess come see us next time. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
congratulations on
Appreciate
your
that.
appointment as principal.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We'll talk to you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, folks. I think most of us are in the room here for ordinance 112425. This is your Leaf Spring Daycare zoning case. I'll go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Singler.
Okay, we had a long discussion last meeting. This is the point where we're going to see how people are leaning in terms of the vote. So what you have on the agenda tonight is a ordinance approving the development. So we're at the point where we would have a motion for introduction and first reading of your ordinance 112425. This gives me, hopefully it'll give me an idea of how the votes are lining up if we're going down the road of approval or denial. So this vote tells me what direction we're going to go in. So a vote in favor of this would be a vote to start down the road of approval. So it's ready for action.
So I have a question. First reading is just a first reading. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a question. First reading is just a first reading. There is no vote tonight.
Yes, there's a vote for introduction and first reading of the ordinance. That starts the approval process. So no, it doesn't approve the zoning proposal. You're correct. But as I said before, I'm trying to get an idea of how this is going. So if you are in favor of the development, you would vote yes. Not in favor, you would vote no.
For the reading.
For the reading. So you need to make a motion for Mr. Singler to give that first reading, in which case there will be discussion about what is in this document. Waivers,
Can there,
what else?
question, can there be a motion for first reading without, because second reading is when the actual vote will take place. If there is a second reading, the actual vote will take place. So if we're just approving first reading, we're just approving to allow for possible opening for more discussion or whatever. They won't actually have a final vote to the second reading.
That's correct.
So we need a motion to give a reading, first of
I
all.
make a motion to, for John to do a first reading of ordinance 11-24-25.
Second.
No motion and a second. Those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Mr. Singler.
All right, by summary, your ordinance 112425 deals with Planning Commission case number 25 zone 0038. It's approval of a change in zoning from R4 single family residential to R5A multifamily residential conditional use permit for a daycare facility and a detailed district development plan with binding elements and waivers on Whips Mill Road. And that's a first reading by summary.
Now, you can have discussion about that.
So is it possible for us to speak with some of the people who have previously spoken at a meeting? Because I had some questions for the residents who lived on Old Ormsby.
We took the whole meeting last time for that. If we're going to do that, then we're going to have the applicant. I mean, what exactly are you looking to get? We had a whole night of comments. We have
Yeah, sure, I was here. I'm aware of what transpired.
Right.
The information that I would like to know is, at the meeting, I asked Mr. Ricketts the years that the buildings were built, and he provided me those years, and I was curious if Ms. Griesbach or Barker have pictures of the flooding from those years near their properties so that we could see over time the water that has gathered, because I'm just not convinced that the flooding is okay for the residents that are living in this area as it currently exists. And so it'd be great to be able to look back and say, well, here is where it started and here's where it is now. Because my understanding is one of the property owners didn't need to previously have flood insurance, but that now they need to carry flood insurance. So how will that impact in the future when more buildings are built? Does that mean more people are going to need flood insurance, and who's on the hook for that? So that's why I kind of wanted to know if we had historical pictures of the flooding at that intersection so that we could look back and say, here's how it's changed.
Well, I get that question. However, photographs from years ago with no context is not going to answer that question. You would have to get to a engineering study of what the watershed looked like before the regional detention center was built, how that's changed over time. In order to get an objective view of that, it would be difficult to get that from photographs without context and explanation through engineering study. So I don't know how that would get to the information that you want.
So are you saying we can order an engineering study?
Of course, you can have an engineering study of any area of your city if you wish.
So if we chose to, or if our vote ended in a no, then we could order an engineering study for future.
Correct, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If we vote no, I thought we have a total of 90 days from the time the first hearing is. So
We do, but I'd still want, it's still to me worth studying that for anything that might come back in the future.
It wouldn't really depend on your vote. You could do that study at any time.
Right, I got that. Okay, got it. So again, this process is a little confusing to me. So you're saying we're not taking a vote, but you're getting a feel for where we're going?
Every ordinance that comes before you,
Right,
you make a vote for the first reading.
and we did.
And that's what you did tonight. And you take a vote for a first reading on every ordinance that comes in front of you.
Right.
Okay. That's what you did. So you started down the road of approval of this development. Okay? That's what's going on here.
Okay. Did we have an opportunity to say we do not want a first reading?
You did, but you took a vote.
I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was trying to express to you.
And then that would have done what? Because then we would.
Then I would have immediately started writing up a denial.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
All right, I don't feel that it was explained well, sorry.
No, I thought we had to have a first reading.
You do not have to have a first reading. That's what I've been trying to express to you. You're starting with the first reading, you're starting down the approval road.
So this is the first time, I believe, or second time that zoning has come up in front of us, so forgive us if we're new to this, but it's,
Understood, but I prepared a 10-page memorandum, and all of that is in the memorandum that was presented to you
Sure, and I
in
have
June
that.
23rd.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you desire to start down the road of denial as well, you can have both an approval and a denial, and then make a determination in your next meeting cycle which one that you're leaning towards. Anybody can make a motion to do that as well. But I need reasons from this body as to why you want to turn this down.
Okay. Again, for the audience and those here at the table, I do apologize. Like Amy said, we've not done many zonings, and I want to be sure that we are doing them correctly and that I'm taking it very seriously and that people realize that this is being taken seriously. Sometimes the language is confusing, and therefore I was confused. So, with that said, I still don't know what to do. I am going to vote no, so I'll just tell you that, and I've got a list of reasons. Is that what you want to hear from me?
I want to know whether you want me to start drafting a denial.
I want
Okay.
you to start drafting a denial.
All right, so that would be in the form of a motion.
All right. I am
Okay,
making a
and then
motion.
I want, in the discussion, I want to know the reasons why.
Okay. I would like for you to draft a denial. I am making a motion that you draft a denial.
Okay,
Okay.
we need a second.
Is there a second for that?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
We need discussion too.
And discussion? Okay, so discussion before,
Yeah.
yeah. So discussion, tell us why.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start with
Stewart seconds.
one of the first things that kind of stuck out to me was that Linden does have a land development code, and the Planning Commission waived our code, waived one of our, maybe two of them actually, but one of our codes, the vehicular use area landscape buffer required by the Linden LDC is not being recognized. It was waived. The reason given was because this code, should this code be enforced, it would be a hardship on the developers. And the hardship would be that it would cause it to be backed up too close and not allow the buffer zone that is required of the creek. And so while we are also being told, well, there would be another buffer put in there of some sort. I haven't seen proof of adequate replacement landscaping or screening. I've seen no proof of that. It's not been provided as far as I can see, except for maybe a few what I call trash trees, because I don't know the names of the trees. But there's one. Should I go on?
Please.
Okay. The Plan 2040 criteria for granting KRS Chapter 100.231, there have been major changes. Would there have been major changes of an economic, physical, or social nature within the area involved, not anticipated in Plan 2040 when that was adopted, at the time that it was adopted? And we definitely have changes of a physical nature and probably somewhat a social nature, but the physical nature is definitely the floodplain and the fact that it has expanded and that now the neighborhoods around this area are being told that they would never even have been built today because of the flooding. A lot of that flooding has, as far as I know, not been totally proven, but it has come after development on Shelby campus. So there's right there is a negative, so that's 2 minuses. Linden has a tree canopy requirement. We wish to continue to be considered for inclusion as a Tree City USA. A large part of the tree canopy in this area is going to be destroyed for development, with others in danger of damage from erosion, which is already being witnessed in and around the creek. And a lot of that's due to what LG&E has done in that area without thought to the clearing of that area and the damage that was causing. And it is causing erosion, which is causing more flooding, which is causing other trees to be damaged, their roots and the tree itself. The proposed planting, again, has not proven to me to be adequate. To date, the City of Linden has not seen MSD address the current drainage problem that we have. So there is little faith that insurances concerning adequate drainage facilities being placed or being maintained will happen. So, and then another one is reconformance of the development plan with the comprehensive plan and the land development code. The development is neither promoting equitable housing, and this is part of that code. It was goal 2, objective E. It is not promoting equitable housing, for sure, nor is it promoting recreation or giving recreation, and it is not necessarily a service to our community. So there are 3 things that needed to be addressed, or one of the 3 needed to be on there, and it's not. So now you could say a daycare could be a service to our community. I'm going to say the average income in Linden, in and around Linden, is a little bit less than the average income that we see in Norton Commons, or even in the other place that it's going to be placed, which is Eastwood or East Point or wherever. So I'm not even sure that our citizens would be able to afford this daycare. It's beautiful, but if our citizens can't afford it, then it's going to be a service to those outside of our community, more so than those inside of our community. Another thing that we saw conflicting traffic impact reports. And so, that's concerning. And the other thing that is also concerning is there was no study done on the traffic impact nearest development, which is Holly Springs. Holly Springs and Willow Springs right now have become a cut through already. When I asked if a study was done for this development or for this neighborhood, I was told no. And then 2 more. And this one, I'm told, is not applicable, but I believe it's applicable. The area is a haven for wildlife and for green life in our city, which there's little of left. And so there's one. And then I'm going to go with the Kentucky Waterways Alliance, which along with MSD developed I can't even read my writing now. New development has asked to minimize new development within the flood-prone areas. This is definitely new development in a flood-prone area. There is also runoff that is of concern to the Kentucky Waterways Alliance, and not only runoff, but the sediment that will be caused from the concrete and again, just the runoff, the fact that so many of our trees will be taken, and the trees make up a huge percent of keeping our soil and our water in where it belongs. So, that's what I have for now.
Thank you, folks.
All right, so that gives me some notes to work from, and so we will have a draft of that prior to the caucus meeting, which I believe is the 15th.
It's the caucus and the council in December.
Okay.
One meeting.
Prior to that, you'll get a draft sent around with your meeting documents. So you'll have both the approval ordinance and then a denial for that meeting.
Was there anything further from the council?
About this topic, or?
Yes. Yes. No?
No.
All right, so there you have it, December 15th. You'll have both of those ordinances in front of you. There is one meeting in December. As I get into my announcements, then December 15th, 6 p.m. All right, your Light Up Linden celebration is December 7th. That's going to be from 4:30 to 7, and Santa arrives on the fire truck at 5:30. So hopefully the weather holds for that. That's 2 Sundays from now. Is there other business from the council at this time?
Where is the location of the light?
I'm sorry, Ropesean Park, 825 Linden Park Lane. There'll be more to come on social media and everything on where to park and what other amenities will be there, but that is the date, December 7th.
Have you chosen an auditor?
So the 2 auditors I've been telling you about declined to give us an audit, so we're looking for a third. We've reached out to who did the city of J-Town because it was requested that the auditor had experience with cities with police departments. So Dean Dorton and Wellican were not interested at this time.
With Cherry
Bakart.
Becker?
Mhm. They haven't responded to that request, to the request for
Okay,
proposals at this time.
I have the person that we need to speak to, actually, if they've spoken to me.
Okay. We just,
Doug Helm
sure, Doug, yeah.
and Christine, I don't have their name, but we are very interested, I'm very interested in what they are doing for some of the other smaller cities. And as not just as an auditor, which is not what I'm talking to them about, actually, Mayor, and it is concerning best practices and and oversight, best practices oversight, not so much that, but also best practices in reporting and how reports are created and understood. So, I can talk to you about, about our discussion.
Very good. What else?
Mayor, do we have an update on the safety director?
Well, it was put on to you to come back and give a job description.
Then we probably need to form a committee to figure that out. Based on best practices. Thank you.
Okay. Who else? Other business for the council? If there's not going to be anything else, we're going to go ahead and open the floor to the public. We've heard most of what you all had to say last week, so let's try not to be repetitive with that regard, but we will allow you to speak. So I'm not going to call out names from the sign-in sheet, but just know that you've got 3 minutes. No vulgar language, no question and answer session. Tell us who you are, where you live, if you don't mind.
1207 Holly Springs. Sorry, I missed last 3 meetings. The meeting I was in the hospital. So anyway, 2000, there's an article in the paper. City of Linden gave $500,000 to build the dam. Mr. Guthrie said in that article that dam was built for the conditions as of that year. Any more construction, more work would have to be done. Now, 2022, the Clean Water Act, MSD had to write a report. In that report, y'all can get it and look at it, they admitted that by relocating the creek around this area, they have probably caused more flooding and erosion. In the pictures they showed were the exact place that I talked about a month ago in this meeting. Now, have y'all walked the land? Because I walked the land. Inside those woods now, there's another lake. The Middle Fork is still there. So where they would build at, I don't know, off the land that relocated, off the original land. So those are 3 things that I question. That Clean Water Act, MSD wrote the report. They admitted they're causing more erosion and flooding in the area. Thanks.
Anybody? Next. Ms. Meyer?
Hello, and thank you for all the lights in Linden. The city looks really pretty so far, so we really appreciate that. Gets everybody in the spirit. I've come to the council to ask if going forward, there are several of us in the communities now that have grown to know each other very closely. And so we have decided that we would like to move forward with a committee, a community committee, to discuss and work with MSD and other people in the community, maybe Kentucky Waterways, about improvements and their guidance for the Middle Fork of Bear Grass Creek. And so to do that, I've come before you to say, do I make a written request to you for your participation, a representative from the council, or how the city of Linden might like to either be part of that group or lead the group, or so I bring forward this, for your consideration.
Can you sum that up in what is the name of the group, I guess?
Well, we as a group will form and make our name. We're just forming, and so we would not want, until we all get kind of in that group and start our, what are we here for, what are our goals, what's our priorities, and how will we engage, how will the, city be engaged, and where we're going to move forward. So we've not made any really commitment until we have everyone at the table. So, okay, thank you. So
I've got to defer to the council on this, or Mr. Singler, on if this is a community committee, certainly you can do that, as far as I know. And then council participation, is that, if they asked a council person to be on that committee, they could do that, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
So
I don't think you really have to do anything other than just form yourself, get going, and then ask the city to participate in whatever way the city wants to, and whatever way that
Okay.
you would like them to.
Okay, all right, so I'll maybe email the mayor and let you guys kind of talk about, okay, great.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. That's Peggy Meyer. Thank you very much. Okay.
My name's Andrea Seltzer. I live at 1213 Linden Crossing Way. I did speak last time. This is going to be slightly redundant, but I said something about soil samples. I know that from the contract or whatever, they said that they did do core samples or whatever. My question is what are the results of the core samples? Did they go far enough to see if there has been trash that has leaked into the water? Was my question about that. And the other thing about, denying this, I know that it is going to go to another court. So we have to make sure that there is a legal reason why, green space isn't, unfortunately, but we have to find a legal reason why it is not okay for this conditional permit. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah. I was going to hop
Go
on.
right ahead. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Sorry,
You
there's no
guys listening to us. I had some questions the last time, and I appreciate
Yeah,
us
sorry,
being in
tell
the
us your
audience.
name again. I know you are, but.
Oh, Kevin Craycroft,
Yeah. Thank you,
108
Kevin.
Holly Springs Drive. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
I've learned a lot by listening to the clarifications you all give each other up here that helps us understand the process as well, which is, as the community members, that clarification really helps. Mr. Singler, you had mentioned on June 23rd, you have put out a 10-page memorandum with regards to this. Is that public? Can we see that, or is that something that is held just within?
No, it's not relating to this case. I have a memorandum that I use for my clients discussing how to deal with any zoning case.
Sure.
And the laws associated with deciding the zoning case, the laws associated with approving conditions to a zoning case, and the laws associated with denying a zoning case. So I have this memorandum that I've improved it, or I hope I've improved it over time. And so knowing that there was going to be a case with a lot of interest in it, I revised it and I submitted it to everybody and then went over it at the city meeting in June, just to kind of get everybody thinking about the law associated with zoning proposals.
And us as citizens have less information. We're not attorneys and.
If you want a copy, I'll give it to you. It's no
Okay.
problem.
I appreciate it.
Give me, send me an email,
Email address?
whatever.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can get it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I know we have others. Raise your hand. I don't have any orders, so come on up if you're ready.
Good evening. I'm Earlene Grice Owens, and my partner Larry Owens and I have lived in Autumn Ridge for decades and are active community members and have been attending the city council meetings for about a year regularly. And one of the things I want to say tonight is, again, is in this season of gratitude, how grateful I am for the diligence of the council members who, as we saw in this issue tonight, look at these community issues with such diligence and such integrity. I want to say to my neighbors that I really appreciate and have enjoyed and look forward to further communications with many of you who have shown up and talked about this issue, which I, in Autumn Ridge, was not really familiar with, but you have certainly convinced me as a neighbor that the city should vote no against this development, and it's clear what the reasons for that. And so you have brought the data and anecdotal evidence to convince of that. I want to encourage and invite you to continue as residents to come to these meetings. There are other things going on in our community, related and unrelated. And so, for instance, Ms. Meyer, I want to have a follow-up conversation with you. I think one of the linkages here might be the beautification committee that Ms. Stanley has spearheaded. And we have a beautification committee that was established, and the mission is to look at public spaces, and starting with Robeson Park, and how we could have a long-range plan around these issues. So the next meeting for the beautification committee is December 1st. And these community meetings, these committee meetings are open to the community. The other committee that has been established is the Ethics Committee. And I wanted to make sure that folks know those meetings are open as well. Can someone on the council, do you know when the next Ethics Committee meeting is? Okay. So there are so many ways to continue to be engaged, and I appreciate the neighbors being engaged and look forward to further work together. And thanks again to the council.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hi, Stacy Griesbach, 9015 Old Whips Mill Road. I just want to ask if you all do decide to do the study on MSD and the flooding and the traffic study, that you make sure you add all the construction that's going to be happening that's already been approved. The retention pond back on Ormsby Lane, the retention, anything else that they're going to build, the 64 apartments, that's included in those studies, so we're aware of the traffic and the flooding coming from those areas as well.
Very good.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Couple more if there are any. Okay. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Ms. Ricketts, second from Ms. Bartow. Thank you. All those in favor say aye. All right, see you December 15th.
Brought extra copies.
Oh, great. All right. Thank you.